Thank you for changing the subject.
That's my job here. First time starter in the 4th race, Mike, for the Mosses. John Sheriff's by More Than Ready, $500,000 Maryland bred. Kendom. I know you've been on this horse in the morning. What can you tell us about her?
Been very impressive in the morning. I mean, take a look at her when she comes in the paddock. She's not as big as Zenyatta, but she's big. You know, she's not going to be close early. She's probably not going to have much speed early, but I think if she hits that stride that I know she can, you know, without being green, you might see something pretty cool.
So she's all right.
Yeah,
she can run a little bit.
I mean, she's showed us in the morning that she can, and she's been trained Dynamite, and this is probably too short for her. But
it was too short for Zenyatta, too,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
All right, that's Kendom in the 4th. The 5th race, Mike, you're riding the Mies for Jim Cassidy, a trainer you've done a lot of good with in the last couple of years, and this is a filly who's never been in the U.S. coming over from Europe. Full mandate. Do you know anything about her, and what's Jim told you about her?
No, I haven't. I really don't know much about her. You know, I think I got to work her one morning, but Jim is great with these kind of horses. He gets them from Europe, these sprinters in Europe, and he gets them to go a mile and 1.16, mile and 1/8, and he does an incredible job with them. He's been very, very fortunate with this type of horse, so I know that whenever I ride her, she should have a big shot.
He's one of those guys, when he asks you to ride, you say yes.
Oh,
you just trust his, 9th race. Got a new shooter in here, a horse that's coming in from New York. Straight Story for Alan Goldberg. Can you tell us anything about Straight Story, or whether they told you about this colt?
Well, he told me he'd be better off with a target. And it looks like to me there's not going to be much of a target.
Yeah.
He looks like the fastest of the fast in there as far as the speed goes. But if I can get him to relax and get him to sit off of 1 or 2, I think that at least he believes that he'll run his best race that way. And then, you know, even a couple of horses that have beat him in there, they've only beat him by a neck. And I know who's one of them. But so if I can get him to settle early, that's going to be the big clue. If I get him to do that, if I get him to turn off, I think he's got a shot to win.
Last race, you're at a first-time starter for Jared Hondorf. One of my best friends owns a piece of this horse, and he's been telling me about this horse for months. He said, we got this Tiz Now colt that can really run. His name is X-Fusion. How is he trained, and what do you think of his chances in the last?
Really well, especially when he's with company. He's a totally different horse, and when he's by himself, he kind of looks around. He can be a little bit on the lazy side, but man, you put a horse with him, he's been very impressive every time a horse has been with him. So, you know, the horrible post in the 14 hole, but you know, you got a good ways to run down, you know, till you get to the turn. Hopefully he'll get away in good order, and I can, you know, probably be laying about 4th, 5th, and save some sort of ground. And I think he's going to run big.
He can finish.
He should, man. He's a big, good-looking colt.
And he's a decent price. He's 6-1 in the morning line in the final race. We got about 3 or 4 minutes before Vic has to make the changes and scratches and everything. Anybody got a question for Mike? Right back there in the blue ball cap.
Yes, Mike, I want to congratulate you on the race. I was there that day.
You know what's going to happen one of these days? There were, what, 50,000 people? It's going to be one of these things where there were 300,000 there, because everybody's going to say they were there. It's like those games everybody was at, they really worked at, and they said they were there. Anyway,
I wasn't there. I bet on Zenyatta. I was so excited when you were coming around the far turn, and there was a wall of horses in front of you, and I saw you jump out there, and I was like, wow!
He said the same thing.
Yeah, I wasn't here. I got here a little late.
No, I mean, he said the same thing in the race. Wow.
I just couldn't believe how she jumped out there and just was gone.
Yeah, for such a
I was so excited, I cried.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I did too.
So did the guys you ran by. There's a question right there.
Hi, pleasure seeing you today. I'm pretty excited about it. I wanted to ask you, how many miles per hour do you think that you go on?
That's an interesting question. You know, you sometimes see that some tracks put up miles per hour. What do you think, Mike? Delmar, they did it. Delmar, the one where she like two jumps or something before, 2 or 3 jumps before the wire, she was going like 38 miles per hour, and when she hit the wire, she was going 40. And then she moved faster when we passed the wire, so I'm not too sure how fast she could go.
We'll say 40 at least.
Can you imagine running a mile and an eighth and you're hitting the wire like going 40 miles per hour? I mean, at some point they'll hit 40s.
Yeah.
But you don't see them hitting 40 at the wire.
Not when they're finishing. No.
And she won't even halfway out that day.
It's right here in the white shirt.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Zenyatta, I think, is the finest horse. I don't think we're going to see another one for a long time. But when do you think her first offspring would be? What year?
Oh, wow.
I mean,
soon. I think they're going to breed her soon. Yeah.
210, probably 2012 would be the first foal.
No one's worthy of that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who they're going to breed it to.
Go find somebody.
Wouldn't it be cool to see the stars, that horse that won the Arctic 12, the European champion against America's champion? That'd be pretty neat.
Only problem with that, half the time back when they do that, you get a horse that can't run. You breed these two great horses, you get these horses that can't get out of their own way, and you end up having to retire them. But hey, a couple more, we got another minute or two right there.
It was a great race at the Breeders' Cup. I was there too, and I did win a little bit of money. How do you think Zanata will do when she retires? Will she be okay missing the track and all the working?
That's a very good question.
Yeah, that's a question for John. He could tell you a whole lot more about that. I think she'd handle anything professional. She's just a true champion. I think she's going to be a great mother.
You know, that's a very good question.
It's amazing, Kurt. I don't know if you've ever been around her in the barn. She's extremely kind. I swear your little baby could go up and touch her. She could put a carrot in her mouth and she'd take it out so gently. But as soon as you tie her to the wall to put a saddle on, don't get close.
It's game day.
But man, whenever she's just standing in the stall, you could lay down. She just rub all over you.
But you know, and that's what's going to happen today. She's not coming through the paddock today because they were concerned she would think it's game day and she's going to be running. So she's going to come out from the backside, right where the kitchen is, and come onto the track from the front. Yeah, but bringing her through here, just what Mike said, she's an athlete. She doesn't know she's retired. She thinks it's time to run again. And that was a good question about her retirement, because a lot of horses, you know, I hear people all the time, and it irritates me. I'm like, oh, this horse is 9 years old. Why is he still running? Because he's a thoroughbred racehorse. That's what they do. And a lot of times, you put these horses out in the pasture, and my wife's had this experience with a horse. They're miserable. They hate standing around and not running and not doing something. They're racehorses. And Zenyatta being so competitive, that would be a, you know, how do you bring her down to say, okay, it's over. Now you can just relax and be a mom.
Well, they have some great professionals that do that, you know. I mean, she's going to go to a great farm, and they know what to do. I mean, even if she does need some exercise, if they need somebody to get on her, I'm sure they would, you know, just to start with until they bring them down. You know, the feed program changes and everything.
True.
You know, they start to come down.
Yeah. One more question. How about right here in the Charger set? I'm a Chargers fan. You caught my eye. You're going to get the last question.
Final 10, California. How would she do on any surface?
I don't know. That's the